so sad. Why you look like you carry everybody burden?
You're alright, you know. From Roy dead, I don't even know night from day.
I know it's hard for process, but everybody knows Roy did Dead Leff money, so why you afraid?
Remember, Sam never left no will, you know? And we not even did married.
True. Girl, we have to go down to AGD go sort it out.
You mean the people that might deal with pension?
No, that are accountant general. I thought the Dead Leff people them, the administrator general's department, we down at Ocean Boulevard. Listen, once a person die without leaving a will, and they have children under the age of 18, and they have assets like house, car, shared savings, then we sort it out for you.
Well, we don't have to go down there then, because RJ nah suffer.
All right.
Come on.
All right, new segment alert. Welcome to the Dead Leff series, where we'll be learning all about the Administrator General's department and what goes into the handling of the administration of estates after a homeowner passes. Now, this week, we're kicking things off by just getting to know the Administrator General. So we have Stacie-Ann Carty here, finding out when and why her role comes into play. Welcome to Sunrise, AG.
Hi, good.
Thank you.
Morning.
Thank you. Morning to you both.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm
We're
magnificent.
good. We're
Yeah,
good.
and I love this series because Dead Leff cause a lot of dead men's in Jamaica. And
Yes.
unfortunately, this is all too commonplace and we have to stem the issue. So we know that estate planning is not something that, a lot of Jamaicans like, because we don't like make a will, because if you make a will, you call down dead by yourself. However, the chaos and the anarchy, the confusion, and the deadments that can arise when you die intestate, that is without a will, trust and believe. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that the Admin General is here to set things straight and just to put things into perspective for our citizens. So who is the Administrator General? We've been hearing about you guys. What do you do over there, Stacie?
Well, as the segment said, we deal with Dead Leff, and so when somebody dies, we focus mainly, because as you said, most people don't make a will. So we're focusing on a particular population of vulnerable people, children, those under 18. Because as you said, people die, there's a fight, there's an argument, few people remember their school fees to be paid, their children who need to have lights, water, food. And so we focus on that group of persons. So where somebody dies with assets, house, you said, car, land, whatever
Money
it
in the
is,
bank.
money in the bank, insurance policy. We have entertainers who die, they have royalties coming in. We have a variety of assets. People die in a car accident. We have a lot of accidents on our road. We have to sue the person who caused the accident. So we have lots of assets coming in. We have horses, you name it, we have it at the department. Boats, fishermen die, people with yachts, whomever. Anything that you have in life carries through to death.
Yes.
And so what we do, we look at what you have, do various investigations to see what is there, bring in the assets so that we can take care of the children. We give the adults what is theirs while they're adults, and we keep what is for the child with the department. There are also some cases where the court might say, you know what, this is a little complicated, let the admin gen deal with it, and then make a court order to say, you have the expertise there, you do it. There might be, as you said, fighting in between parties in a family, and the court says, you know what, admin gen, let's have you deal with it again.
So
Pretty
are
much
you,
that's what it is.
primarily a provider of legal services in this area? So are you mainly attorneys who work?
So we have quite a few attorneys, maybe about 30 or 40 attorneys in the office, because it is, as you pointed out, a very specific legal area, but we have other professionals. We have trust accountants, because we're dealing with the money. We have to make sure, we have a duty to make sure the money is in order. We have to invest the money. So we have persons who are in finance as well in the department.
Okay.
As you said, there's property, so we have property managers who go out in the field. We have houses that we have to rent. We have to maintain. You have your own house.
Yes.
pipe is going to burst. The tenant is going to call you because we rent the houses, if they're rentable, to make sure that we can get income coming in, because a house is not going to generate income just sitting there.
Right.
It's also not going to stay in a habitable condition if you don't maintain it. So we have property administrators that go out all island.
Because you don't want the asset to depreciate and
Correct.
dissipate.
We have a duty to make sure that we preserve the value of the estate, which includes the house.
I'm trying to locate how. Explain for me how it becomes your responsibility as an agent of the state to execute these tasks for people.
That is such a good question, and I'm glad that you asked it. It is a tremendous task, sometimes a little overwhelming because of our physical capacity in numbers, because as I said, it's all island. But what it is that there's a piece of law, legislation, the Administrator General's Act, and you have the Intestate, Estates and Property Charges Act, and that's what gives us our authority. So we do two things. By law, we must administer estates. Once somebody has died without a will and 3 months has passed and nobody has decided to take out a grant to take charge, because the government, the Crown, has a interest in making sure everybody's property is taken care of, right? And so that is our duty that is given to us by law. Also,
so why not just sell it and make somebody else do it?
Well, the law is also very, we have a lot of guidelines.
Yes, you
right?
can't just sell
you don't
it,
just
so.
get up and sell people property just like that. So we have specific circumstances in which you can do it. It has to be that the person has debt, because we don't like to talk about it, but the fact that you're dead, your debt is still there. It still has to be paid. So if there's debt and you don't have any cash, legally we can sell it. But we're still going to ask you first, can you pay the bill before we go and sell the property? Because property is an appreciating asset, you know. So you don't want as a first step to sell. The child could be 1 year when the father dies. That asset could sit and grow until the person is 18 rather than us selling it right now. So those are considerations that we have to make as well.
What about the people who die and leave, for instance, minors or dependents then? And do you have a responsibility, do you owe a duty of care to ensure that people get what they're supposed to get?
That's our role. That's our role. So as I said, it's a tremendous role in it. It's a responsibility where you basically are stepping in the shoes of the dead person, who is a parent. So you're a parent, you know the responsibility, and that's the responsibility we're taking on for all these children throughout the island. So we have a social worker. We're trying to get another one because, as you can imagine, oh, you have one over here.
No, we're looking out for that one.
Oh, yes.
Social worker, Admin General, they're hiring.
They're hiring.
Yes. Not yet, but we're working on it. Yes, but it's a serious responsibility. So you're dealing with grief. I don't know if you've ever had somebody for you who has died. It's stressful. It's very emotional. It can be overwhelming. It disturbs your whole sense of balance and security and way of life. Sometimes it's the provider, you know. Sometimes it's a person who used to take care of you. So physically, you might have been an only parent. So who's taking care of you now? Is it grandma? Is it auntie? Are you boxing around to different family members' homes? And so our social worker goes. Oftentimes she goes to the school, because that's often a place of stability for children, speaks to the teacher, the principal, and we also try and show them what are some other options the government offers that can give them some financial support. Because children are expensive. Whether you have it or you don't have it, children require money, they require care.
Let me ask you quickly, Stacie, though, because, for example, when there is a minor, unfortunately, the adults don't always do what is in the child's or children's best interest. How does the admin, Jen, you talked about a court order. Let's say, for example, there's a family and there's war going on, but the children are still there, they need to go to school. Who has the authority or standing, as we say, to ask the Admin General, please, we need to get a court order to protect this child here. Them not getting a lunch money, them not getting the books back to school time now, and the peer war is going on, and they're not looking out for the child.
Right, excellent question. So what you do, anybody can come and talk to us. Neighbor, auntie, cousin, anybody can come and report it to us. We have a form of particulars. We just ask you to complete it. It's on our website, www.agd.gov.jm, or call us. Come to Ocean Boulevard. You can't miss us, right on the waterfront. Let us know who has died. We'll investigate what assets they have. And just August, back to school, would have gotten lots of invoices. We pay the school fees from the money that the person has left. You saw in the videos, he said, oh, the person died and had money in the bank account. We collect the money, we invest it, we pay the bills for the child. If the child needs a monthly payment, we make that monthly payment to the caregiver's account every month, just like you would get your pay in your deposit account every month. We do back to school shoes, clothes. Children buy a lot of clothes and so forth because they're constantly growing. So that's our role.
Yes.
So in essence, we take over the affairs of the person. We act as their parent as far as is possible. And once persons have left assets, we take control of it and take care of the child until they're an adult.
Somebody on YouTube, Dennis, is asking about outside children. If the admin general, if outside children fall within your remit of protection and forget some of the dead left.
Yeah, excellent question. We actually have an entire segment on that coming up in the series. But the short answer is yes. A child is a child is a child. We're unconcerned about inside, outside, in between, whatever it is. The only thing that they would have to do is prove that the person is their father.
Amen.
So if the person's name is on the birth certificate, fine. If not, they have to go to the court and get a court order called a declaration of paternity. Or if the person was alive and you took them to court for maintenance and you have a maintenance order, an affiliation order from the court saying this person who has died was the father, yes, you would definitely get your portion of the estate.
I'm excited about this series, guys.
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody to watch and listen and learn and write down. Remember, I encourage you all the time, write things down. You think you're going to remember, you may not. And Stacie-Ann is going to be disseminating some very key information, important information.
Absolutely.
So thank you so very
She
much.
knows her stuff.
Yeah.
She definitely knows her stuff.
She there.
Definitely.
Admin general, the general.
Chevy General. There you have it. An inside look at the important role of the Administrator General with the Administrator General herself. I would almost call it the AG, but there are a couple of AGs.
Yeah.
There's a couple of AGDs, so the Administrator General herself, Stacie-Ann Carty. There's more Sunrise when we return.
Lovely.